Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my brand new Totem Master for 1.0. This is a build I was playing yesterday and a build that I perfected today. And I gotta tell you, if you are a fan of totems, I know they've been a little weaker in the past, but I think we have cracked the code. So for this video, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you gameplay. That'll come later on after my subathon. I have been live for almost 75 straight hours. First link in the description if you want to come hang out. But we've been testing, we've been having fun, and I've been fortunate that the servers have been working well, and we've been able to test a lot of builds. So today I'm going to show you my Totem Master. And to be clear, if you can recreate this build with this planner, you are going to have so much fun. Totems are back. I don't know, maybe they were never here. So I'm going to take you through the skills, passives, and gear, and this is focused around the new skill, Tempest Strike. I'm calling it a new skill because that's what it is. It's the same in name only, focused around Tempest Totem. So let's look at the skills first. Starting with Fury Leap. Now this is one that I know people might push back on a little bit. We are using Storm Crows, so you can take Storm Crows as a traversal skill. I have opted out of that, and I want to actually use Fury Leap. Now, for this skill, it is going to be buffing your totems. It's going to be frenzying your totems. It's going to be giving you life. It is going to be cleansing you. But more importantly, it is going to be triggering Upheaval. Okay? So from a smoothness, from a fun factor, from a synergy, you are jumping, and every time you land, you've got a totem. And just FYI, you are also immune while you are leaping, so you have some survivability elements. Now, when you jump and land, you will have your Upheaval. And like I mentioned, you want to go bottom first, and you want to turn this into an Upheaval totem, and you can have 3 of these. Now, why are we taking Upheaval? There is one node that makes this very special, and it is on the top up here. And this is Master of Totem. Upheaval hits grant your totems increased armor and more damage. Multiplicative for 4 seconds. This effect can stack an unlimited amount of times. That means, think about this for a second. You jump. When you land, you make an Upheaval totem. And then you drop your other totems. And the Upheaval totem is hitting enemies while simultaneously buffing your totems an unlimited amount of times. And we want that Upheaval everywhere, so you don't have to aim it to actually hit your totems. So we are taking Blow, which create 3 fault lines, and then we're taking Earth, which creates 5 fault lines. So literally the whole map is Upheaval totems, so you know it is always hitting enemies and hitting your totems. Moving on to Storm Crows. Now, Storm Crows are a little interesting. We spec'd them into Traversal. I didn't really like it, but it was fine. We spec'd them into one big one. We spec'd them into full damage. And what I actually like Storm Crows for is support. Now, this build, you do need 50 intelligence. And we are not an intelligence build, we are an attunement build. So the way that we are getting around that is we are using our Storm Crows, and we are taking this node right here. And this is going to give you 20 intelligence, which again goes a long way. This is going to give you 20 intelligence because you have 2 crows. And then we are going down here, and we are taking good berries. And good berries is just basically your crows will heal you. So you kind of have your crows running around, healing you, healing your totems, giving you intelligence, and attacking. So they are basically more of a support. Main damage dealer, Summon Storm Totem. Now this is your big baddie. And basically on here you're doing more damage to shocked enemies, damage multiplicative. You're doing more damage multiplicative, but it costs more mana. You've got Thunder Totem. And then on here, we're actually taking Blizzard, not because it does any damage, but because it's going to put chill chance on enemies. And I forgot to mention, chill chance is coming from your Storm Totem, and Upheaval, you're putting frailty on enemies. So enemies will be chilled and be frail. That was stuff we found out this morning. Moving over to the newest skill, this is Tempest Strike. And again, this skill is the same in name only. It's a completely different skill. And you want to come down first. You want to snag all these damage multiplicative. And you want to get right here, Glooming Gale. You now create Tempest Totems. And your Tempest Totem has this really interesting node called Symbols. You can see it, my face isn't in the way. Where it can have a minimum and maximum cast speed. When you cast your Tempest Totem, it could hit for 10% increased attack speed, or it could hit for 70% attack speed. And you're literally putting these out all the time, so a lot of times they shoot super fast. Now, this is the node that is important. We are going into Gladiator. And Gladiator right here has a doubled effect for your crows and your totems. Now, it is very easy to have 8 stacks of Gladiator, okay? 8 stacks of Gladiator. And then it would be 8 times 4 times 2. That would be the added base to your crows and totems. And sometimes your stacks are 4, sometimes they're 10, but it is a huge damage boost. All right, so those are the skills. Now, one other thing I just wanted to point out, and it'll make sense during the gear portion, is that inside of Tempest Strike, there is a node right here, which is Nature. Whenever you cast a Tempest, you also gain a portion of your endurance threshold as health. This is one of the main nodes for sustain. And I will say this was tested that even though you are not casting the Tempest, it does function. Just as Gladiator says you have to cast the Tempest, it still functions if your totems cast it. Okay, those are the skills. Moving over to the passives. For the base, we're taking Attunement, we are dual wielding, we're taking added life, and we are boosting our totem's base damage. And you want to make sure you use an axe, because it's tripled if you use an axe. Also, for added sustain, we are taking Berserk, which is going to give you 20% less damage taken at low life. Moving over to Beastmaster, we are taking Aspect of the Boar for more damage reduction. And this build had 1 point left over. We were at 99, and I just threw that last point there. Under Druid, we put 10 points in, 5 into Plating, 5 into Prowess. And then the other 52 points are in Shaman. Attunement and Penetration, Minion Damage and Fury Leap cooldown. We're going to be jumping all the time. Lightning Damage for Totems, Attunement and Stun Avoidance, Lightning Damage for Totems, Minion Damage. We are going to have a huge boost to our resistances. For this build, you do not have to worry about physical resistance or elemental resistance because your totems take care of that for you. Sorry, I skipped one. Speed, totem cast speed, and you're going to have haste the entire time you are playing. Attunement, mana regen, and then 1 point up here, which is important. Your totems cannot be stunned. You only need 1 point in to get it. Those are the passives. Moving over to the blessings. Void resistance, mana, crit avoidance, endurance threshold, and minion damage. 3 unique items. Tempest Maw. And these are so cheap. When I looked in my stash, I had 6 of them with 2 LP. And my Tempest Maw in-game literally looks like this. 2 of them. Relic, we're using a Stormcarved Testament. This drops only from Lagon, everyone's favorite fight. And then I'll take you through each item. Oracle Amulet. Very important helmet. The implicit maximum health gained as endurance threshold. Armor. This is where you get your Tempest Strike chance or level. Belt. Boots. Gloves. And you'll notice the tier 6 endurance threshold. Ring. Tier 6 endurance threshold. Ring. Tier 6 endurance threshold. This build, okay, I want to talk about sustain one more time. Fury Leap. You're going to get life when you land. Little bit. and you're immune. On here, you have your Storm Crows that are going to be healing you. On your Tempest Strike, you're going to be using Bulwark of Nature. You have maxed resistance. You have maxed endurance. You have endurance threshold at 1755. You have crit avoidance at over 100. And you have 3700 life. Again, if you can build this, you would be a monster. Finally, blessings. We have all life blessings. Idols, I'm sorry. All life idols. And on here, we're taking totem damage. That's the build. New Shaman Totem Master. I promised to get gameplay out after the subathon. It has been a fun build, but of course, gearing it out and getting everything we need just takes a little bit of time. I want to know your opinion. Is there something I missed? Is there something, Aaron, maybe you should try this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. I get asked all the time what's the best way to support, and Patreon is it. You get the most bonus content, you get access to the VIP lounge on Discord, and you get access to game night, where we do Patreon game night every single month. So I'm done. I'm live right now on Twitch. Come by the subathon. It is the first link in the description. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.